When we hear the word addiction, many images comes to our mind. We see the falling down drunk. We see a woman who sells her body in exchange for a fix. We read about a famous entertainer who died. Most of us know a friend or family member whose lives are affected by addiction. We all know that addiction is a serious problem, but behind the widely held agreement are many disagreements and questions.
First, what is meaning of addiction?
Addiction is the repeated involvement with a substance or activity, despite the substantial harm it may causes, because that involvement was pleasurable or valuable.
Addiction can affect ourselves in various ways,
Like how addiction changed the brain's natural balance called homeostasis.
and how it can affect our decision making habits and emotional health.
Do you know that there are four factors that are unique to addiction alone and are classified as the four C's, known as compulsion, craving, consequences, and control?
First, let's talk about compulsion.
Compulsion means that an individual has an absolute and overpowering urge to fuel their addiction. The behavior may start impulsively, but as addiction grows, it becomes a compulsive habit. By not partaking in the habit, agonizing anxiety occurs, affecting all other behaviors.
Second is craving. Craving is the urge to fuel the addiction, becomes as demanding as hunger pain, mimicking a physical need. It feels like it is vital for survival.
This urge often manifests as restlessness, insomnia, and lack of appetite. Third is consequences.
Consequences is even when negative consequences becomes apparent, the behavior continues. Consequences of addiction includes relationship, work, legal, and money problems.
And last, control. Control of when or how the individual fuels their addiction is lost. Oftentimes, in the early stages of addiction, an individual will try to cut down or eliminate the behavior.
This is impossible when the lack of control stage of addiction is reached. People use drugs or alcohol to escape, relax, or reward themselves.
Over time, they can make you believe that you need them to enjoy life or that you can't cope without them, which can gradually lead to dependence and addiction.
Different types of addiction.
There are many different substances and maladaptive behaviors that people can become addicted to, including
Alcohol addiction, drug addiction, pornography addiction, marijuana addiction, and cocaine addiction.
Approximately 10% of any population is addicted to drugs or alcohol. Cocaine was involved in 1 out of every 5 overdose deaths in 2017. The harmful use of alcohol results in 3.3 million deaths each year.
People begin taking drugs for a variety of reasons. First is to feel good or feeling of pleasure, or what do you call it, high. Second, to feel better or relieve stress.
Third,
To do better, improve performance.
lastly,
Curiosity and peer pressure.
So let's move to the next part, which is causes of addiction.
family history. About 50 to 60% of addiction is due to genetic factors.
Poor coping skills for dealing with stress. The more stressed you are, the more you will want to escape or relax, and that is why people turn to drugs or alcohol.
Underlying anxiety or depression. Anxiety and depression can lead to addiction. Addiction can also cause anxiety and depression.
People with addictive disorders may be aware of their problem, but be unable to stop it even if they want to. So let's go for the treatments for addiction.
Treatments for addiction. Behavioral counseling. Encourage a patient to develop a negative view of their abuse. Contemplation along with the desire to change their behavior. Determination to change.
Hospitalization.
therapeutic communities.
Outpatient programs.
Medication. Taking of our mental health can also help us fight or prevent mental health problems. Managing stress, for instance, can have a positive impact on heart disease.
Evaluation for co-occurring mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. Long-term follow-up to prevent relapse.
There's no shame in getting well. Please know you are not bad, but you are sick.
You probably don't believe that.
You still thinks it's you choosing to get high, but it's not you.
You lost that choice a long time ago.
I want you to know that you are important, you are worthy, and you are loved.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, please do not waste another day. Addiction claims lives on a daily basis and impacts on loved ones and families like no other illness can.
Why we chose addiction? Because many people don't understand why or how other people become addicted.
You can call these hotlines if you are suffering from addiction.
So now, you have idea about addiction, types of addiction, causes of addictions, and treatments for addiction.
I hope our presentation was a big help to all of you who are suffering from this mental illness.
And remember, addiction is not a joke. That's all. Thank you.